95% of the food in there is all acid base. Now they got one thing. They got the one little sign with the little salad, man. They got the little green salad, man.
Yeah.
All that other shit, man. All that other shit, man. Is all acid base. And Jake goes all up in there, man.
Especially
we go up in there
woman.
sometimes, man. And you feel bad when you got to go up in there, man. Where else can you fucking go?
Yeah.
Most of the food that you eat is based upon acid base.
Acid base. Yeah.
That's why you see these black women looking like fucking buffaloes and shit.
Yeah.
And then they just drop dead. They just drop the fuck dead, man. And they're asking them, what did she die of? Now, a doctor said, well, she died of a massive heart attack. No, the bitch died from years of an acid-based body, man.
That's right.
It's a fucking shame, man.
Shaped like a sweet yak.
Well, that's the point, brothers. The point is, everything is a fight, man. Even the body, the immune system is a fighter. When the immune system stops fighting, you die. You drop dead. Okay. So that's so that's the point.
Sorry, when you need him.
Yeah. That's the point. You know. So
there ain't no more point to be made.
Yeah. So you got to cleave. You got to, like the scriptures say, fight the good fight of faith. Fight the good fight of faith.
Well, that's why Nate started getting that brain degenerative disease, and it looked like it's coming back, man. You know, and they gave him some pills or some shit, but the shit gonna come back, man.
With a
vengeance. Because you eating that same fucking garbage.
With a vengeance. Yeah, it's gonna come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, I got the rest of this in Isaiah 11 verse 12.
There'll be a whole lot of shaking going on.
Because once you read the 11th verse where it speaks about all the places where Israel's going to come from, or some of the places that Israel's going to come from,
right?
The 12th verse says, "And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel." From where? From among these nations. It says,
but they name nations,
man. And gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. And that's just that. Israel is all over the planet.
This is the book of Revelation 5 and 9. Okay, it didn't come up. Go ahead and say something.
Right. This is Acts chapter 2, verse 5. "And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. Now when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our own tongue wherein we were born?" It means from them different nations. "Parthians and Medes and Elamites, and the dwellers in Mesopotamia and in Judea and Cappadocia, and Pontus and Asia, Phrygia and Pamphylia, in Egypt and in parts of Libya, about Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes, Cretes and Arabians, we do hear them speak in our tongues the wonderful works of the Most High." So even at that time, during the time of the apostles, you had Israelites that knew that they were Israelites, that were living among all these nations and speaking these nations' languages, coming to Jerusalem to keep the feast of the Passover according to the law.
That's right.
But the point is that they were coming from these nations, and you can't tell me that these men among these Israelites among these nations wasn't dealing with those women. You know, because Jake likes to have sex. You know, so if you got a man, you know, a Judite man and his woman, and they go to Elam, East India, and the Jake has children, he has sons. When the sons grow up, you know, they see them Elamite women growing up around them. You don't think they're going to deal with them women? Because the baby that comes out is still an Israelite baby, no matter what it looks like.
Yeah, and then if they deal with those Elamite women, can only imagine what the children are going to look like. All right?
They're not going to be accepted.
Yeah.
Because of the way they look.
Because of the way they look. And they're not going to look like straight up 100% so-called Negroes. You guys got to come on a higher plane, man. All right? Hey, this is Revelation 5, 8 to 9. Well, let me just go right to the point, the 9th verse. "And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof. This is speaking about Yahweh Shai. The book is talking about the Bible. The seals is talking about the prophecies that were written in the book. The seals being opened, meaning the understanding of those prophecies was given. And it was given to the elect, who the elect was part of the body of Yahweh Shai, the elect brotherhood. Thou art worthy to take the book and open the seals thereof, for thou was slain and has redeemed us to the Most High by thy blood, meaning Yahweh Shai, out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. Why did it say out of every kindred, tongue, people, and nation? Because you had Israelites that were scattered among every kindred, tongue, people, and nation. That's why, all right? So you're going to have Israelites coming out of every nation that where they were scattered, and they're not all going to look like so-called Negroes. That's the point. Some of them are going to look like the nations where they were scattered. As a matter of fact, Hosea 8 and 8, we always bring that out. Hosea 8 and 8. Let me get that right now. Hosea 8. Hosea 8 and 8. It says this. Go ahead, brother. Say something. It didn't come up here.
Well, I got this here. I hope I didn't lose it. Okay, this is Acts. This is Acts the 13th chapter. The key point. Okay, I'm going to start at the 39th verse. It says, and by him all that believe are justified from all things, from which ye could not be justified by the law of Moses. 40, it says, beware therefore lest that come upon you which is spoken of in the prophets. 41, behold, ye despisers, and wonder, and perish. For I work a work in your days, a work which ye shall in no wise believe, though a man declare it unto you. Now, what was Paul quoting right here? Paul was quoting Habakkuk, the first chapter, right? Now, in the 42nd verse, it says, and when the Jews were going out of the synagogue, the Gentiles, now these Gentiles are Israelites that were raised up in different lands. And a lot of them looked like Israelites, but they were wearing the garments of, the heathen. A lot of them had bald heads. A lot of them had smooth faces. A lot of them probably had tribal marks.
Yep.
Because they didn't know that they were Israelites, or their parents didn't know, or fell away from being an Israelite, and they wanted to come back into being an Israelite, which is a fulfillment of Habakkuk, right? It says, and when the Jews were going, and these Jews were the despisers. 41, it said, behold ye despisers, which were the Jews. They despised the fact that Paul was bringing in the heathen, and wonder and perish. For I work a work in your days, a work which ye shall in no wise believe, though a man declare it unto you. And when the Jews were going out of the synagogue, the Gentiles, Israelite foreigners, besought that these words might be preached to them the next Sabbath.
That's right.
Because what were they doing? Back then they were cleaving unto the house of Israel. Today they are cleaving unto the house of Israel.
Yeah. Yeah, so, the belief of being a Hebrew Israelite is totally based upon faith, man. I made that statement. A lot of guys went berserk over that. It's true. The belief of being a Hebrew Israelite is totally based upon faith. It starts with faith. You have to just believe. All right?
I got more here. 43. It said, now when the congregation was broken up, many of the Jews and religious proselytes followed Paul and Barnabas. All right? Who, speaking to them, persuaded them to continue in the grace of the Most High. 44. And the next Sabbath day came almost the whole city together to hear. That's the cleaving.
Cleaving, yeah.
All right?
Yep.
The whole city together to hear the word of the Most High. But when the Jews saw the multitudes, the Gentiles,
Cleaving.
Israelite or foreigners cleaving, they were filled with envy.
Just like now.
And where's that scripture on that? Was that Romans 11?